Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Oki's Potager Garden. Just want to sneak out here to the front yard. I have some white roses and they need pruning. Let's turn the camera around. I always love to see everybody's gardens. Okay, look at that. Papa got that for me. I've just filled it with white flowers this year. Just really wanted a French look. So with the white and the green, the red, it's really pretty. So Desdemona is one of her last blooms. She's a David Austin. This is her second year. So she bloomed out so pretty. You can go back and look at my post on Danette Wood. See all her pictures, but she has so many. Well, most of the roses you prune. Excuse me. But this one has, the rose are turning into hips, which is really nice. You can use them for multiple purposes. So I went to Google this morning to say, you know, these look like hips. Should I prune or not prune? And it says go ahead and prune if they're a young bush and you want more growth. So we're looking for another flush, especially for the fall. And you can see where it is growing bigger. And so she really needs to be a lot bigger in that space there. So I'm going to go ahead and prune. And it recommends that you prune after or before the 5th leaf, and you want the leaves to be going outward. So like I wouldn't prune here because that leaf is going in towards the plant. We want a bloom to face out. That one's facing this way. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one down here because it's front facing leaf. I'll give you a quick little tour and then I'll finish pruning those. These ferns, I'm so tickled to have found these ferns. They are perennials and they come back. So you could put them in a hanging basket, but they're more upward facing. They don't have the Boston fern where they'll kind of hang over a basket. But I think they're very, very pretty. There's some mustard that I had in my pot and I just put it over there. I love the little seeds. Going with the white and green foliage of the year, Papa got this cactus, and it was so small, of course, and we're going to move it later this year. It's really becoming so big in front of the house. But to soften that rustic look, I put some white ground cover roses. And they are so pretty. They come out this soft yellow and then they white. They're so precious. The first flush is always gorgeous, but it's a repeat bloomer most of the summer. So I've gotten more and I've put them here just to be in the front. These are some little shrubs. This is their second year. Got them for perennial bluestone. They're supposed to have blueberries, be mounding 3 feet. I like how it's beginning to hang over the rocks. Last year this kind of just looked like a jumbled mess of weeds. So I suppress them by putting the red cedar mulch on them. So there are 3 in a row. Do 3s and 5s. This hedge is really pretty. It's supposed to have some blueberries too. The name has left me. These are some little perennial shrubs. They have red little flowers on them. I thought they would not come back, but they have on the old wood. I don't see any new growth from underneath. Here's another white ground cover rose. I want it to hang over the rocks. This is 2 different roses. I believe they're Oklahoma roses. She just thrives. I love how she just comes out so big and pretty. And then we have a holly. and she does need pruning. I hope maybe to get to her this morning. And then here is my third white rose here. Nestled her back. It's just impossible to keep all of those weeds taken care of. So there she is. Looks like she's really reaching for the sun. Maybe too far back. We'll just see how it goes. Here's a butterfly bush. I thought they were really going to get bush height. I don't know. This is its second year. The other one died. Excuse me for the sniffles. The tree pollen and the rain we had last night. This rose is so gorgeous, and she has finally bloomed. She looks like she's going to be a little bit of a climber. Let me find her. But you're going to be shocked. Look at this. There's her color, and she was supposed to be ginger snap. But here's some of the stem, and so I'm thinking that this was a rose that they grafted, and this was the original color. And I have another rose that was a pink, and it is red, which is gorgeous under our United States of America flag. So I'm not going to complain. And I wanted all white roses or a corally color, light color, but the red has really complemented, and we've got one there, and one there. So we've got our three. Here are the little flowers that come back, but see, they haven't come back on some wood. This one does seem to have, no, that's just a branch. But see, at the base, it doesn't have any new shoots. Oh, here's a tag. I love keeping the tags. It is a autumn sage. Huh, interesting. Here's my favorite salvias. I was so tickled to learn that these come back. There's one there. 1, 2, 3. There's another one. It's a little small. I like how they say to make a river, make where it goes. Your eye just keeps flowing. These little holly bushes, they're supposed to stay kind of round and small. Look at the little blooms. How sweet. And I have 1, 2, 3. I thought I had 5 of them, but I think where I put the rose bush was the other one and it died. But here's the other one that's growing really tall. And this is so pretty. But you know when you plant things in the spring, the pecan leaves come out later. And pecans and the crepe myrtle have not agreed. It's got some kind of crepe myrtle mold. It turns black. So there's some branches in there that really need to be cut, but it's not anything that I can actually do. So we've got 3 pecans. Oh, excuse me, 2 pecans and this silver maple. I planted a FenceRow plants. There's our orchard. Let's put a pine tree, the red buds, Oklahoma State tree. There's another red bud and another red bud. This thing is glorious. Glorious. So pretty. It'll come back to me. It is gorgeous. Here's an old pin oak, and it has come back. I'll tell you, we kind of needed a roof, but not really needed a roof, and went ahead and got a roof. Oh my goodness, they were out here, had it all scraped off. 4 hours, they were done. It's glorious. If you want to make a big improvement on your house, which seems like a lot of money, but it's really not a lot of money when it figures the whole house. We got a new roof, We also had aluminum windows, and we got the USA insulated windows. The noise and the air conditioning, either hot or cold, has just been so precious. So that's the front of my house. Call it the Woodland Manor. So our last name is Wood, so precious. Yes, you do see some poison ivy and creeping stuff on the side. We don't really come out here. We're not going to rub against it. Papa usually ends up pulling it down sometime. He's just really busy mowing right now. Sometimes I'll come out and work in the yard and he'll follow me. This is I'll finish with this. This is a red maple, and I had 3 of them here. I believe I just have 2 now. Well, it is a beautiful maple tree. The leaves are gorgeous, but they only last for like a week, 2 weeks, and they're done. But I do love the bark. It's so pretty. This is, I hope the tag's still there. I think it's a sawtooth oak. You'll have to answer me back to make sure. But I'm not sure if it's a sawtooth oak. You'll help me. I'll get back with you on that. This tree here, I put it in. Let's see what it is. With the dogs, we just don't get out to the front very often. This is a Fuji persimmon. For some reason, I thought this thing died, but I think that it did. I'll have to Google Lens and make sure that this is the same tree that's come up with it, not something else. Because here's the original tree. It may be a weed. I'll have to get with that. But it is kind of beautiful. I like the chartreuse green with it. It's really pretty. Oh, what have we got here? Oh, I think it's an oak. Let's see. Yeah. It is a Schmard red oak. So we're always glad to have those mighty oak trees. Here's our other maple. We bought these when originally kind of came to the house. Jace, my oldest grandson, when he was little, he was here the day we planted them, and we stood him up right beside the plant, and it was just as big as his arm and the trunk size, and I still treasure that picture. He's such a sweet kid. Just adore him. This right here, look at the ridges, like a Ruffles potato chip. This is a river birch, and it is just so full, so pretty. This area right here, when it rains, it's a low spot, so it carries quite a bit of water. I like to put some kind of a willow here someday, just to take advantage of that. Let's walk out here to the garden. This is the MarketRows garden. Papa said, "You haven't showed my garden." I was like, "Papa, you can be a guest." So we will brag on his garden here. He has 5 rows of corn, which he had 1 row left. And I said, "I'd really like some cantaloupe or some watermelon." He said, "Oh, we'll have to plant that after the rain." Well, it got after the rain. I said, "Well, you want me to get those seeds?" He's like, "We don't have any rows left." I was like, "Oh, I thought we were going to do 1 row." He just doesn't feel like those fruits do well. But they do make a vine, and they don't keep things in rows. And bless his heart, yes, you see some grass, but don't say a word about it. He works out here so hard getting his grass out, and he wants to pull it up by the roots. And I so appreciate that. But it just kills his back, just kills his back. So something you'll know on corn or not, but they have to have the tassels close to each other so they can pollinate. And they have to rub. You just can't plant one row of corn. You won't get very much corn. You have to have many. And then it seems like when it's about time for it to do that, we'll get a blowing wind and rain, and it will knock the first row down. So usually you plant the 4 or 5 rows, and you know you're going to lose the first row. The other ones usually will stand up. Just the first row will take the brunt. Let's see, what has Papa got coming up here? Looks like okra. And he's got some purple whole peas. Love peas. He likes peas, okay, but I love peas. And we have squash. Oh, Papa loves fried squash. It's just his favorite. We'll just pray that the bugs don't win. We get some squash. Most years we do. Tomatoes. Oh, play blessings over these tomatoes. Something about the tomatoes, and he's been real kind to let me, but this year I'm going to keep my hands off. I'm not taking the suckers off. I'm not taking the bottom leaves off. We did that last year. We didn't really get a whole lot of tomatoes. I don't know if it had something to do with the weather, because it was kind of a drier year, and we may have lost it anyways, but I'm just going to let it be. Just going to let it be. Here's our jalapenos. Yes, we got regular jalapenos. And I believe he finished the row out in okra, I think. But it may be squash. It's about the same size of the squash and more of a rounder leaf, I think. Oh, and when we planted potatoes, here's our potatoes. 3 rows of potatoes. We got some potato starts from the nursery down the street. They didn't have a whole lot of eyes, but I had ordered some as your standard organic russet potatoes. They had eyes like crazy because they don't put a spray on it, and so it was just I don't know why it had more, but we planted them too. And they just did amazing right away. And then eventually the seed potatoes that we had gotten at the greenhouse did come up, and so we love potatoes. And so Papa's like, well, what else can we plant besides potatoes this time of year? I was like, oh, I love cabbage. Look at the cabbage, y'all. That is so much sauerkraut. So much sauerkraut. Like one head makes like 4 quarts of sauerkraut. So we're going to eat some sauerkraut. We're going to have some good gut health. And we just eat it like a side. It doesn't have to be sauerkraut and weenies. And we put it in a salt brine. It's not made with vinegar. It ferments. So it's just so precious. This part of the bed here, while we used to garden it, and he's added and added, but it still seems to flood. So I'm gonna see if maybe we could plant a wildlife patch here. I've seen someone do that, the honeysuckle, and she just really encourages me. I just really enjoy her. And out there is blackberries. When I really started getting interested, and I was like, hey, I want to plant some stuff, and I just planted a whole thing of blackberries and put them on little hills. Well, I thought they'd stay in their little hills. No, these things just take off. And so I've just asked if you'll please just leave me one plant. And so he's left me this plant. And well, I don't come out often. I have seen a snake out here, and that's kind of why I kind of quit coming out here to the blackberries. And there were also some baby rabbits, and when I was out here, the puppy dogs heard the rabbits, and oh my goodness, they were just screaming, and the dogs would just eat them up. That's just nature, y'all. That's just nature. So I've got some new plants, new shoots, and see this whole thorny thing? It is thorny all the way up. It is a mess. So the trick to get rid of it barehanded is to step on it and pull it way out here. It doesn't have any stickers right there. It has stickers and thorns up this way. See that black? See those hairy old thorns? But they're not at the bottom. So that's how you pull that thing out. Everything has a weak spot. Because see, it wants you to grab it right there while I'm grabbing these other grasses. And we just don't want to do that. Which is not like a poison ivy. It's not going to leave you a bad rash. It's just going to make you pull back. Make you pull back. I'm so tickled to see this red clover. When I was farming out here in the MarketRows, I would seed with this red clover. Because about the time that it had started to red seed and die back, you were supposed to till it in, that it just had a nitrogen and be a slow feeder for your plants. And some people want to use triple 13 and different fertilizers, which are great, but as soon as it rains, it's gone. It is gone. So, oh, I'm so tickled to be out here with y'all today. Left the pups in the house. It's a big one. I think we'll just stop for today. It's going to rain today. It will even. It rained some last night. You see the water. Isn't that beautiful? Those red clover. And it'll be easier to pull again. So we'll do that. So, this is our woodland cottage. This is not our woodland cottage. Listen to it. This is the woodland manor. Need another cup of coffee. And this is Papa's MarketRows. See how it's different than a potager garden? It's just rows of usually just one crop. Just usually one row of one crop. Hear the birds. The traffic's beginning. Every people are going to work and school. That's my clothesline. See the chicken pen out there? Got the honeysuckle. Isn't that beautiful? My kids, they used to eat honeysuckle. Sweet, sweet juice. Well, y'all have a great day.